To convert from standard form to vertex form, we do this process called completing the square. That process involves taking your ax squared and your bx and writing them just fine, but putting your constant term way to the side so that you can make room to put in your magic number. X squared minus 6x, you want to give that some magic number. The way you get that number is you take your b, you take your negative 6, you cut it in half, and then you square that number. 9 is my magic number. What I really want here is a 9, always positive, because I squared it. It's positive 9. I can't just change the problem though. If I have a plus 9, I'm also going to put in a minus 9. X squared minus 6, plus 9 minus 9, plus 10, plus 9 minus 9 cancel, and so it's still the same problem. But now I'm able to write this as y equals something squared minus 9 and plus 10 make plus 1. The something that gets squared is going to be x. The thing that I have to put here that's going to make it equivalent to this is going to be negative 3, because negative 3 is the thing here and here. The thing that I squared to make 9 was negative 3. The thing that I got from cutting negative 6 in half was negative 3. Again. To complete the square, I'm going to write x squared plus 8x, and then leave a lot of room by putting the minus 20 way off to the side. That just is going to hang out over there. My magic number is going to come from taking my 8, cutting it in half, and then squaring that to get 16. So what I'm going to put here is a plus 16 and a minus 16. I'll rewrite this as y equals something squared. Minus 16 and minus 20 make minus 36. And the thing that I squared to make this trinomial is the binomial x plus 4. Plus 4 because it was plus 4 here, plus 4 here. And this one, y equals x squared minus 20x, leave a lot of room, plus 6. The thing that I want grouped in with those is going to come from taking minus 20, cutting it in half, dividing by 2, squaring that. My magic number is 100. I want a plus 100 here, but a minus 100 outside the parentheses to keep things balanced. Is going to turn to y equals something squared, minus 100 and plus 6, make minus 94. This is going to be x minus 10. Minus 10 because minus 10 is the number that I squared to make my magic number. Minus 10 is the number I got when I did half of b, half of negative 20. The only way it gets harder is if I have a leading coefficient. That's not what this is about. But otherwise, if there's b is odd, it gets harder. Because when I try doing this, I write this, I leave a lot of room. My magic number is going to come from taking 3, cutting it in half, so I get, we'll call it 3 halves, and then squaring that. Maybe it's easier to work with decimal. I'm a fraction guy. 3 halves squared makes 9 fourths. So what I want here is a plus 9 fourths. To keep things balanced, I do a minus 9 fourths. Now, it's the same process, I just have to deal with fractions. I'm going to have something squared, and on the outside, I'm going to have whatever I get if I do negative 9 fourths minus 4. Well, I want a common denominator of 4, so maybe I'll do times a 4 here and times a 4 here. Negative 9 fourths minus 16 fourths, negative 25 fourths. So it looks like negative 9 fourths and negative 4 make negative 25 fourths. And on the inside, I'm going to have an x. What goes after the x is always half of my b, the thing I squared to make my magic number. What goes there is going to be 3 halves. Positive 3 halves. I'm going to write it again just since it looks weird with all the colors. It's going to be x plus 3 halves squared minus 25 fourths. If you did it with a decimal, that's fine too. One more. I always do y equals x squared minus x, and then I leave a lot of room and write my constant. In this case, I didn't have a constant. I could write +0 and write a +0 here, but that seems like a waste of ink, and ink is expensive, so I'm going to do that. I put something in parentheses, then I'm going to put a magic number. I'm going to have minus the magic number here. My magic number comes from taking my b, so -1, cutting it in half, so I get -1/2. Maybe I want to write that as -0.5, but I'm a fraction guy. I square it to get +1/4. My magic number is +1/4. To keep things balanced, I'll put -1/4 here. I'm going to have y equals something squared. Usually I have to simplify the rest, and there's nothing to simplify here. I'm going to have -1/4. On the inside I have x, and then I'm going to have -1/2, because that's the thing that I got when that I had to square to make my magic number. It's the thing I got when I did half of b. I'm going to have -1/2, because that is this number and this number.